Rhea Ripley and The Undertaker recently shared a segment together after the Eradicator's victory against Liv Morgan to win back her title. The legend has now talked about what went wrong. On the WWE RAW debut on Netflix, Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan and became the Women's World Champion once again. It had been a long time coming, and the win was a huge moment for the star. After she had celebrated and was heading up the ramp, she was interrupted by The Undertaker, who took a moment to celebrate her victory with her. Speaking on his 6 Feet Under podcast, the Phenom has revealed that he had an issue with this segment and what it was. He said that he didn't want to step on her time and take anything away from her big moment. Originally, I was going to do an entrance and an interview, which would have been fine. I think they had somebody that was going to interview me. And then they just thought, Taker appearing after Ripley versus Morgan would make that whole thing even bigger for Ripley. When they told me, at first, I was like, I don't think so. And I was like, that's her moment. I don't want to step on any part of that. This is the payoff to a very long storyline, and I sure don't want to come out and step on her moment, The Undertaker said. However, he revealed that when he was told that the two of them would cross paths after Ripley had already had her moment after her win against the Judgment Day member, his appearance would make it even bigger for her, creating a separate moment after she'd already celebrated. They basically explained that she's going to have a moment in the ring. She's going to have this moment where you two will cross paths. And I was like, okay, well now if it's like that, then it's pretty cool. Not that our characters are similar, but they are a little bit. It was just me dabbing her up there a little bit, he added. Rhea Ripley and The Undertaker shared a big moment on WWE RAW. The segment ended up working well for Rhea Ripley, as sharing that moment with a legend like The Undertaker added to her moment as the new Women's World Champion instead of taking away from it, as the Phenom had originally feared. Thankfully, things worked out for them at that moment. The video of the segment on RAW can be seen below. However, Rhea Ripley reacts to former WWE Champion firing shots at Dominic Mysterio ahead of RAW. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio appear to be headed in different directions for the first time in the last 2 years. However, the Eradicator recently shared her reaction to a popular WWE superstar firing brutal shots at the Judgment Day member. Dirty Dominic and CM Punk have been teasing a feud over social media and interviews outside WWE for some time. Earlier today, the Best in the World trolled the 27-year-old via an Instagram update. He reshared PWG's new video titled Best of Dominic Mysterio Backstage, stating it only featured Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and him singing happy birthday to the former NXT North American Champion's sister. The Second City Saints Instagram story grabbed the attention of Rhea Ripley. The Women's World Champion seemingly enjoyed Punk's remarks as she reshared it and added a rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Rhea Ripley reclaimed the Women's World Championship by defeating Liv Morgan on the historic premiere of RAW on Netflix. However, it must be noted that the win came only after 2 unsuccessful attempts. On a recent edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Writing with Russo, former WWE head writer Vince Russo shared an interesting take on Ripley's booking. The veteran stated that the Nightmare should not have been booked to go 50-50ths with Liv Morgan, who had shown great character work in recent months, and that he wasn't a fan of the Eradicator's bookings. Oh my god, bro, I gotta tell you, I hate the way they book her, man, Russo said. She should not be going 50-50ths with Liv Morgan. I'm sorry, man, Liv Morgan did great character work. She's done a really good job, but when you look at the two of them in the ring, they should not be going 50-50ths. They just shouldn't be. Last week on Monday Night Raw, former WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax teased going after Rhea's title. The Irresistible Force stated she could choose to challenge Ripley for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 41 after winning the Women's Royal Rumble match. However, CM Punk shared an interesting update featuring Rhea Ripley ahead of tonight's episode of WWE RAW. Ripley captured the Women's World Championship from Liv Morgan earlier this month on Netflix. The Second City Saint took to his Instagram story ahead of tonight's episode of Raw to share a photo of himself and Rhea Ripley. Punk was getting his hair done by Jed and Minnie in the photo, with Ripley watching on in the background. The Best in the World and the Women's World Champion recreated a popular behind-the-scenes photo from the movie The Shining. As seen in the image below, Ripley appears unrecognizable at first glance, as she is wearing glasses. You can check out the 46-year-old's update on Instagram by clicking here. CM Punk defeated Seth Rollins in the main event of WWE RAW's debut episode on Netflix on January 6, 2025. Rollins will be squaring off against Drew McIntyre in a WrestleMania 40 rematch tonight on the Red brand. Vince Russo claims he hates the way WWE books Rhea Ripley. Wrestling legend Vince Russo recently took WWE to task for how they utilize Rhea Ripley on television. Ripley was involved in a personal rivalry with Liv Morgan for several months before finally capturing the Women's World Championship from the 30-year-old. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Writing with Russo show, the veteran disclosed that he hated how the company booked the Eradicator. He stated that the 28-year-old should have dominated Morgan during their match earlier this month. "Oh my god, bro, I gotta tell you, I hate the way they book her, man," Russo said. "She should not be going 50-50ths with Liv Morgan. I'm sorry, man, Liv Morgan did great character work. She's done a really, really good job, but when you look at the two of them in the ring, they should not be going 50-50ths. They just shouldn't be, however." Rhea Ripley suffered a horrible injury just minutes before WWE RAW started this week. The star was walking to the show when she was attacked by a superstar, leading to Adam Pearce calling for help. Ripley and Nia Jax have drawn lines in the sand recently, as it appears that they are going to be rivals. Jax may want Ripley's title, but she went too far this week before Raw started. Before the show could even begin, she attacked Rhea Ripley backstage and smashed her head against the wall and a gate. The attack went too far, and Ripley's shoulder was hurt, with it already previously having been injured and putting her on the shelf for months. The stars had to be separated by security, and Adam Pearce appeared as well. Adam Pearce was left with no option but to call for a medic. He looked very worried as the Eradicator was left almost crying in pain after the surprise attack and nursing her shoulder and head, clearly injured. The star's condition after the attack will be evaluated with further updates about the nature of the injury. Jax will face Bayley tonight in a WWE RAW match after this attack. It remains to be seen what happens now that she attacked Rhea Ripley before that. The ex-WWE Women's Champion only recently made the switch from SmackDown to Raw, with it being announced earlier tonight by Pearce. However, Rhea Ripley got into a huge brawl on Monday Night Raw in a moment of revenge from earlier in the night. She got herself a match at Saturday night's main event, marking a rematch after 332 days. This week on Raw, fans saw another woman declare her entry into the Royal Rumble match. Last year's winner Bayley. The announcement set up a rematch against Nia Jax from SummerSlam, with Nia once again getting the win over Raw's newest star. However, Nia also assaulted Rhea Ripley earlier in the night. After Nia Jax picked up the win, Ripley came out and initiated a brawl, leading to a lot of backstage figures coming out to stop things. When she had the chance, she declared that she wanted to face Nia Jax at Saturday night's main event. This marks 332 days since their rematch, and it will be 337 days between Elimination Chamber last year and SNMNE this weekend. It seems that WWE is gearing up for a feud between Ripley and Jax in the weeks to come. The last time they faced off, they headlined the premium live event in Perth, and it was the Eradicator who stood tall. However, Rhea Ripley made a major announcement tonight on WWE RAW. Another massive star has now reacted to it. Bronson Reed has been a destructive force in the ring over the past year. It started with him destroying Seth Rollins in the ring. Since then, he has laid out several stars as he continued to dominate the roster. Given his dominance, Reed was included in the new Bloodlines team for their Survivor Series match against the OG Bloodline. Unfortunately, Reed suffered a serious injury during the match and hasn't been seen since then. However, he has been following Raw in his absence. Tonight on the Red brand, Rhea Ripley was attacked backstage by Nia Jax. Later on, Rhea attacked Nia after the latter's match against Bayley. Both women brawled in and out